Yes, sir. I was going to ask about morals and instincts.
Okay.
You know? Because I was going to ask, like I said earlier, I'm still a deist, but I think I'm kind of slipping in somewhat to an agnostic, but, you know.
Okay.
But right now, I don't think I've fully made it to that point. But this was a question that's been on my mind because I was going to ask, because most animals, right, are born with instincts.
Right.
Most animals know how to do certain things. They know how to mate. They know how to do they know how to, well, some of them know how to instinctively hunt, but humans, they have to have a sex education. They have to have all types of certain things, how to do this, even just the basic task that most animals would already know.
You know, McKinley, I think that if we left boys and girls long enough, they'd figure it out.
I mean, given the state of sex education in our country, they do figure it out even if they're not told anything.
Yeah, but I feel you. You know, it's really interesting the more you look at the progress of our species and what it takes, and the investment that it takes to raise a human versus an animal, right? You have such a long period of not being an adult, not being out on your own. And so much of that goes into creating this incredibly social creature that we are. There are studies of children who have been completely left alone and not had no human interaction, and they don't develop speech. They're feral children. It's tragic, but it's interesting to see that there are instincts, but it's definitely interesting how those instincts play out, and yeah. So what about it? Did you have a question? What's on your mind? What's going on?
I don't know. Again, right. Well, that was really all I was wondering, just for the simple fact, because I wanted to know if, like, maybe instincts maybe somehow were taken out of us, maybe during our evolution to a point, maybe to make us more human. You know, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
You know, evolution doesn't really have a path. It just gets where it's going eventually. It wanders on, and what works, and what doesn't. But it definitely is something to check out. Both EJ and I are wearing glasses, and that would get us killed in the wild.
Well, you know, I could speak a little bit maybe on the sciencey side of instincts. So I have a pretty heavy science background, and I'll try not to get too into genetics and everything like that, but we definitely do have instincts. I mean, if you think about it, you know, if you put your hand on a hot stove, do you need to think, I should take my hand off of this hot stove because it hurts? No, you put your hand on a hot stove, you immediately take it off. That's an instinct, you know. Breathing is an instinct, and if you're talking about instincts to hunt and to mate and things like that, I mean, we do have those instincts if you think about the hormonal changes that happen when you fall in love with someone, you know, or if you don't necessarily fall in love with someone, but you still want to sleep with them. That's still instinct that's playing into that, you know, all the hormonal aspects of it. So I would say we definitely aren't creatures without any instincts whatsoever. It's maybe just masked a little bit in socialization.
I wasn't saying that we didn't have some instincts. I was just saying because the majority of our instincts, like our animal instincts, tend to be a lot more suppressed than most animals.
Well,
a lot of that has to do with social conditioning. I mean, if you think about it, when a lot of the way that our brains work has to do with how we're socialized, and a huge part of your personality is how you're socialized. And so those instincts may seem like they're masked because you've been socialized a certain way that maybe goes against the instincts that you have, but that doesn't mean that they aren't there. You know, socialization, actually, it's really fascinating, the whole genetics and epigenetics and all these kinds of things, but it's very, very complex, but really fascinating.
Oh. And what about morals? Just for the, why do you think we wear clothes? Why do you, I mean, I know we used to wear clothes to keep warm, but now it's gotten to a point where we feel embarrassed or shamed when we're without clothes. So do you think that's maybe a moral choice, or is that a moral instinct?
I'd again say that that's socialization. I mean, a lot of it is based on how you're socialized. If you're socialized that wearing clothes is necessary and being naked is embarrassing, then yeah, you're going to be embarrassed when you're naked. But you know, you could go to Europe, they have topless beaches, and if you were to be topless at a beach here, people might look at you a little weird or be embarrassed about it. But you know, you could go to Europe, they have nude parks and topless beaches and things like that, and nobody's embarrassed about it because they've been socialized that it's totally normal. It's okay.
In the States, it's a little more repressed, but there are still places, like just outside of Austin where we are right now, it's adults only, but there is a nude beach. It's called Hippie Hollow.
Did not know that.
I have been, and it was amazing. Oh man, the freedom. It was excellent. It was excellent.
I think I'll skip that
I got a little bit of a sunburn, but that's fine. McKinley, we're going to let you go, and we look forward to hearing from you next week, okay?
All right.
All right, you take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.